Technology. Thank you very much.
And I call the member for Brand.
Speaker, everyone that serves in this place knows that they are only able to be here as elected representatives because of the support provided by their family and friends. Today I want to reflect on the life of someone whose family I became a part of little more than 20 years ago. The remarkable extended family of Walter Murdoch King farewelled this wonderful gentleman last week on the 1st of October. After a short illness, Walter died at the age of 88 in the loving company of his wife, Adelphi. Walter is the father of my husband, Jamie King, who I first met 21 years ago and married soon after. I was warmly welcomed into the King family and to their significant and joyful extended family. As was said in the memorial service to his life last week, Walter was interested in people and what they did and was always an enthusiastic conversationalist. Never lost for words, particularly when one was trying to leave a family gathering. Walter was kind, supportive and welcoming to me as a new member of the King clan. It should be no surprise that Walter King was a stellar conversationalist, given his father, Alec King, was a lecturer in English at UWA and his mother, Catherine King, was a much-loved broadcaster on the ABC in Perth, responsible for the creation of the women's sessions and the development of kindergarten and early childhood education in WA. Walter was born as the Depression of the 1930s was setting in, and like many that grew up in those tough times, he was modest and frugal and learned to make and repair things, a trait that his son Jamie has inherited and taken up enthusiastically, and the toolkits and tool chests and all manner of powered gadgets in our garage attest to his enthusiasm. For most of the time I've known them, Walter and Adelphi lived in the historic town of York, the oldest inland town in WA. Their shared love of the country saw them purchase 10 acres on the outskirts of town, and they called it Jarvisfield. Together they undertook a Herculean effort to transform a redundant wheat paddock into a comfortable home with a quite remarkable garden of mostly Indigenous trees and plants, restoring the land from the devastation of agricultural clearing many years before. York is pretty as a picture in winter, but can be unbearably hot and dry in the summer. But if you follow the dedication and commitment of people like Walter and Adelphi, you plant literally thousands of trees and work at it, a transformation of the land can be had. Tomorrow, the community of York will hold a second and final memorial to the life of Walter Murdoch King. For the decades they lived there, Walter and Adelphi were committed to the service of the local community. They are enthusiastic volunteers in the Holy Trinity Church, one of the oldest Anglican church buildings in the country, as well as many local associations. They were stalwarts and servants of a community that loved them both. I have Walter to thank for making me and Jamie keen keepers of bees. Walter's got us a used beehive, set up our very first queen bee, and got us a nucleus hive from his very expert neighbour Kingsley Dixon, the former head of the Kings Park, Botanic Parks and Gardens. It would be fair to say that Jamie and me were terrible beekeepers to start, but 10 years later we've got better and learned much, and I doubt we would have become beekeepers without Walter and Adelphi getting us started. Walter and Adelphi have been very supportive of our decision for me to run for Parliament some 5 years ago, and were always interested in my travels and our travels together. Walter raised fine children, a good woman, Mary Ellen, and 3 good men, Matthew, Simon and the love of my life, Jamie King. You will be sorely missed and fondly remembered, Walter King, now resting with God. Fale, Walter.